Here we are, Car Mechanic Simulator 2021. I got a friend out there who I like to play this game for. Okay, first we gotta go to the barnyards. And we gotta look around to see if there's any cars we want to buy. Used cars. And then add them to our garage. I think we have enough money that we can buy a couple of cars if we wanted to, but I'm looking forward to doing some muscle cars. Older style, big engines. Usually they have square design. Okay. I think I spot one. And there's one car here. That's just a little tiny car with a tiny engine. Maybe a 4-cylinder. I'm looking for something stronger. I think there's another car over on this side. This is it. This is it. Alright, this looks like a Pontiac Firebird. I bet the game calls it something different. But this is a Pontiac Firebird. Oh, I loved these cars when I was a kid. Okay, they call it here a Bandit. Alright, let's buy it. Yeah, in this they call it a Chieftain Bandit. But that's a fake name. They just didn't have the rights. They didn't have the permission to name it its real name. And this cost, the buy price is 29,765 credits. Yeah, let's do it. And where do you want to place the purchased car? In the garage, not the parking lot. Ooh, I didn't even see this one. Oh, what is this? Okay, this probably has a new name, but this is a Jeep. And it's an older style. It's the style that they sent to World War II. I don't know if they sent them also to World War I. I don't know if they're that old. Oh, look at that old engine. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're getting this one too. We're getting this one too. Oh, yeah, they call it the real name. Jeep Willy Civilian. From 1949. Yeah. Buy it. This one is $15,000. Alright, we have $1,000 left. 1,000 credits left. I'm going to buy some junk. And then I can repair it. And then sell it. It'll help us make a little bit of money. Okay. I can repair that side mirror. See, it's red here. This is something I cannot repair if it's in the red. That means it's too damaged, too rusted. And windows, I can't repair them. This one is only 40% good. That means it's 55% bad. Maybe it's a little broken, maybe it has cracks in it. And this is a timing chain, and I don't think I can repair timing chains. But let's buy it just in case. Maybe I can. I have to find out. Now tires, you can't repair tires. If they have a hole in them, you can plug the hole. But if the tire's old, you just have to throw it away. I don't think I'm allowed to repair any of these things. So let's keep looking. This is window I cannot, but this is the front left fender. I can repair that, and then I can sell it. I can repair the trunk. This is a Porsche 911 Turbo S trunk. And this is a rim for a car. I can repair a rim. Now, if you're somebody that's wanted to play this game, if you buy rims, repair them, and sell them, that is the best money you can make in the game, I think. Besides flipping a car. Throttle, I can repair that. If it's orange, I can repair it. If it's green, I can repair it. If it's something that the game allows you to. Like look. Window, oh, I bought it on accident. Let me put it back. Window, they don't let you repair it. And steering wheels, they also don't let you repair those. Glass. Hood. I could repair it, but it's 10%. That means it's too damaged. I can repair that. I can repair the mirror and the rim. This is a pipe. I believe that goes to the exhaust system, and that's something you can't repair. And it's also very cheap in real life. It's cheaper to just buy a new one, or to cover it up, but to patch the little holes. So maybe I'm wrong. A gearbox. Okay, this is a transmission. This big gearbox here, that costs a lot of money, but if I repair it, I get a lot of money back after I sell it. Timing cover, cylinder head cover, and they also don't let you repair headlights, taillights. That's because they're made out of plastic on the outside here, on the shell, and taillights and headlights, you just replace those, you don't repair them. You can, if they're scratched, you can repair that, but if they're broken, it's plastic. You can't put plastic onto it. I can repair. I can. Front exhaust, I cannot. Bumper, I can. Ooh, lots of things I can repair. Not seats. They don't let you. Okay, let me go fast on this so we can get back and actually start building something. Okay, gotta go fast, Ooh, look, I love the engines when they're painted. This is an engine head for a V8 Hemi 440. That's a big, strong engine. And if some of you might think I'm speaking a little bit, well, I have a nephew who's watching. He's pretty young. I love him a lot. He likes cars, I like cars, so we're doing this for him. But I'll try to add any tips that I've learned along the way for more experienced or mature watchers. So in this, once you get your repair level up to level 6, you can repair and then flip and sell all the stuff you're repairing. Make some good money that way. It's a quick way to get some good money. If you're going for just small items and you don't want to repair every single thing, I don't think I'm allowed to repair intercooler. I'm gonna try. Just go for rims if you're just gonna blaze through this. But if you want to repair it and get every last bit of money, body work gets you a lot of money, or gets you some, and rims and gearboxes. Big money in gearboxes. I don't think there's much profit in repairing something that's so close to 100%. For my little buddy, 100% means it's 100% good. It's fully good. There's nothing wrong with it. It's 100%, and then 90% there's just a little bit wrong with it. And then lower and lower and lower, there's 50%, which just means it's half broken, half good. 10% means it's just got a tiny bit that's okay. Yeah, I don't think there's much profit in repairing something that's 90 something, but I'm not sure. I haven't looked at it in a long time. Wait, what was that? 4L cover. Yeah, I think I could do that. Okay, we clean this place out. Let's return to the garage. And these are all the things that I picked up to buy. 7,000 bucks. Yeah, I probably can repair everything that I just picked up, sell it all, make about 14, 20. You can double your money pretty good. Double, triple it, depending on how many rims and big items you got, like gearboxes. Okay, first, this is a repair table body for the body work. Alright, let's give it a shot. Okay, this is a little mini game. And one thing to remember is it's okay to just let it go. You don't have to rush this. What I like to do is I like to hit it at the end. It just gives me extra time, I feel like, to just get the hang of it. Ooh, failed it. So when you fail it, it fully breaks the piece, and then you have to sell like a 10% item. But it's okay. If you make mistakes, it's okay. Each time you make a failure, it gives you experience, which then the next time you're playing, you're going to be a little bit better. So it's okay. I've had to do this a lot of times. I had to fail a lot of times to get good. And if you get the green plus, that means you repaired it. And sometimes you have to repair something 1, 2, maybe even 3 times to get it all the way up to 100% good. That one I had to repair it a couple of times. But a lot of things you just have to repair them once. I wish in real life it was this easy to repair stuff. Just play some little mini game and then everything's repaired. Man, we got a lot of items here. And it does cost you money to repair stuff, but the money is so small, and you're still making a profit once you sell the fully repaired item. And I generally don't keep anything I repair. I just repair it. Well, anything I repair from a junkyard or a barn find, I repair it, sell it, make my money back. If it's something I take off of a car, I'll repair that, and put it back. But there's too many items in the game. So if you repair everything and then store it, the amount of time you have to wait until you can actually find a use for that item it takes a long time. And if you store all that, then it means you just have too much stuff to go through to find the part you need when you do need something. I tried doing that my first playthrough of the game, and I was a pack rat. I saved everything I repaired. Oh man, I had hundreds of items. It took forever to find something I needed. So I'm not doing that anymore. You just repair everything, sell it, make your money, and then go buy a car that you really want. Alright, last one. At the repair table. Now let's go over here, use our tools. Here's a vise, a drill, or is that an air heat gun? Lots of tools here. Okay, now this is where you could lose some money, lose some good money, but it's alright. You can always make your money back. So this is $145, 145 credits to repair. So one of those rims I just repaired, and it only cost me 48 credits to repair. I might be able to sell it for 200. You know, anywhere from 100 to 2,000. You know, rims can sell for a lot. Yeah, so I say don't cripple yourself when you're playing the game by keeping your inventory full of items that you don't need to use right away. This is something I will save. I will save engine blocks that are interesting or I might want to use in the future. Sometimes I like to rebuild an engine just to do it. And then you can store a fully rebuilt engine. That's something I like doing. So if I find an engine block like this, I'll save it. I'll throw it right into the garage. right into the warehouse. And engine blocks will make you a lot of money if you repair them and then sell them, but yeah, it's really satisfying to have an engine fully ready to go to just drop into a car. That's really... Oh, okay, here we go. So I made a mistake. I failed, and the percentage on this item went down because I messed it up. It's just like if you're repairing anything in your house. If you make a mistake, you're going to make it worse than when you started the repair. But luckily, it's still orange. It's still above 20%. So it's orange, and I can try again. See, I broke it. Now it's down to 10%. I have to basically throw it away. I won't make any money off of that item. I probably would have made good money on that. It looked like an expensive part. But just laugh. If you make mistakes, just laugh. Move on with your life. It's not something to be too worried about. You're always going to make mistakes. And the thing is that for everything you want to do in life, you have to make lots of mistakes to get good at it. And there's lots of things you have to be good at in life, or at least competent to be able to survive and to have a nice life. So if you get comfortable with making mistakes and taking experience from those mistakes so that you can do better in the future, if you get comfortable with that process, then you're always going to be, you're going to have a much better life. You're going to be in a better mood more often, because when something goes wrong, you're more capable of just moving on to the next, and fixing the problem in your life, or in the situation where let's say you're repairing something in your house and then you just make something worse. You make a mistake, you make it worse. You make yourself have to do even more work just to get it fixed. Well, that's life. You learned a lot from those mistakes. You learn a lot. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing to learn. It's a good thing to gain experience. And you have to make mistakes to become competent. So, mistakes in that situation, in that sense, are actually beneficial. And the only way you're going to get improved is to make mistakes. So you should be happy that you're making mistakes. So that means you're trying. And the more you try, the better you get. Eventually, if you're in a good, it's a way to keep your mind healthy. You have to think of these kind of things so that you can keep your mind healthy in times of stress. Because all that separates somebody from having a good day and somebody that's having a bad day might just be their perspective on their situation. You get to choose how you look at the situation that you're in life. You get to choose. Nobody makes you look at your situation and feel bad about it. Alright, let's look at our inventory. Here's a case I'm going to open up, but let's first look to see. There's a couple items I couldn't repair that they don't let you repair. So, and this is a lesson I learned. So I bought this item, the camshaft cap. I paid money for it, and now I'm going to have to lose money because I'm not going to be able to sell it for as much as I paid for it. So that was a mistake. But I learned. So yeah, I made a mistake. I lost money in the game, and if I keep doing that, I might lose all my money. But I won't make the same mistake again, and maybe I will though. But eventually I'm going to remember not to buy those camshaft caps. And that's beneficial to me. So my future self is going to have an easier time playing the game, because my future self won't be making that mistake. Air filter cover, good to know. I can't repair those. That's okay. Timing chain, it's behind the camera here, but this is the timing chain. Okay, yeah. So timing chains are not repairable. Middle exhaust section, not repairable. Camshaft cap, that's a strange looking camshaft cap. not repairable. Timing cover, not repairable. Air intake hose, not repairable. Timing chain shoe, not repairable. This is the thing I messed up on, mechanical fuel injection. You know what? I'm going to look that up to see how much money I could have made off of that. Mechanical fuel injection. I have to sell it now for $36 because I messed it up. But let's look at the store. Type in mechanical. Was it mechanical fuel injector? Oh man, I just messed it up. Let's just search for mechanical. Here it is. So if I repaired that item all the way up to full, I could have sold it for close to $600. That's a lot. That's a big mistake I made. I lost a lot of money there. But so what? You live and you learn. You make mistakes, you learn from them. Timing shoe, that's not repairable. Air scoop. Air scoops are cool. They pull in air from outside and then they push that air down into the engine. Engine block, air filter base, I can't. Camshaft cap, power steering reservoir, camshaft Hellcat, okay. Camshaft cap. For anybody that's looking for tips for the game, if you want to sell things very fast, hit the V button. Sell parts. Sell parts that the condition is below or equal to. So if I would have set that to 30 or whatever when it starts, and I just hit enter right now, anything that's 30% or lower would just automatically sell. So it's a very quick way. And actually for right now, I'm going to put the things that I want to keep away, and I'm going to use that feature to sell all this stuff. Okay, things I want to keep. I think it's good to keep the gearbox because it's for a V8, and I like any engine I'm going to rebuild is probably going to be a V8, but I think we should just sell it for now. The only thing I want to keep, I'll keep the engine head cover. I think I want to do a Hellcat engine, so I think I'll keep that. I'm keeping Hellcat parts. I'm keeping orange V8 engine parts. Engine, no, I don't want to keep that engine head. Oh well, I'm not going to look for it. Engine block, that's what I want to keep. V8 engine Hellcat, keeping that. V8 Hemi 345 gearbox, I'm keeping that. Things that are for like a V8, I generally keep, because those are the engines I like rebuilding. V8 boss, I'll keep that. Okay, there's another Hellcat part. Alright. And let me open up that chest. I don't think I can sell the chest, but I'll do it before I sell everything. Okay, pick 2 cards. Middle, bonus case. And 216 gears. Gears are something you can use to upgrade a part, to make it a little bit better. Okay, let's open up the case that we just won. Credits. Case, good. Let's try that again. Now let's open up this one and this one. Okay, we got money and more upgrade points. Okay, we hit the V because we want to sell everything that we have in there. And put up the sell price up to everything that's 100% and lower. And we made 25,000 credits. And when we were at the barn and we bought everything, I think it came out to just over 7,000 credits. So from 7,000 credits of purchases, we then made 25,000. And 7 goes into 25. 7, 14, 21, 28. So over three times the 7, 14, 21. So over 3 times the amount that we put in. Wait, do I have another case still in there? Oh, barn location, good. Click that. Do you want to add the barn destination to your map? Yes. Alright, so now our inventory is open and clean. Let's go outside and see. Oh yeah, here we go. There's a Jeep. There's a Pontiac Firebird that they, in this game, they call the Chieftain Bandit. Okay, look at that rust. Look at the rust on this engine. And that should be all shiny metal, or dull look like that engine block right there. Okay, this thing on top, this flying saucer looking thing, this is the air filter, and this thing pulls air down into the engine, pulls air down from here, and it cleans it because this is an air filter, so it stops any big particles like leaves and sand from getting into your engine. Right here is where the air mixes with gasoline, and then it pushes that air mixture and gasoline mixture down through the intake manifold, and that mixture of air and gas goes into the engine, and it goes above into the combustion chamber, and then the piston comes up, and when the piston squeezes all that air and fuel mixture, it squeezes it all down, and then the spark flicks, explodes, and then the piston shoots back down. And when all of those are going, it turns the engine, turns in the gearbox, and then it turns this drive shaft, and this drive shaft is underneath your car just spinning, and it spins, and that spinning is converted here into there's technical terms for this that I don't actually know the terms for, but it changes the spin from going this way to the other way so that your wheels can then turn. So this car, because the engine's in the front pushing, well, not because of that, but because the only wheels that are actually being pushed and moved in this are the back wheels. This is called a rear wheel drive car. Rear wheel drive. You have to remember that, so if you're ever stuck in a car that's like rear wheel drive, you know that you need to help out the back wheels and the front wheels. They're just going to do whatever they do. Alright, that's a cool engine. Let's look at this guy. Huh. Green. Blocky. So this, you know what? Let's look at this one. I want you to look at the shape here. This is the back of the engine. Look at this shape. It's a big V. It goes up into where the combustion chambers are. The pistons go this way in the V. This is a V8. All the cylinders are in a V shape. This is a straight. Look at this. It's straight. All the pistons are going to be in a row. You know what? Let's move this car onto lift 1. Then we'll move the other car into lift 2. Oh, no, wait. Move this to the... Not the paint shop. Not the paint shop. Move it to the car wash. Okay. Let's wash that up. Oh wow, I didn't even notice that was blue under there. That's some nice colors. I like that. Okay, so that was the outside. That was cleaned. Now let's clean the interior. Nice and shiny. I love this. Wouldn't you want to ride in that car? Okay, we'll put that car back. We'll put it on the car lift. And the first thing we do with any car is we're going to empty out the engine of oil. All the way up. We're going to unplug the engine oil pan back here, and we're going to empty it of oil. And this is the thing that catches the oil. Nothing came out. Ah, I see why nothing came out. Look here at the engine. It's fully open. You can see the insides of the engine, so there's no oil in there. Put that back. Actually, let's go get the other car. Here we go. Let's take you to the engine bay. Car lift 2. You know what I forgot? Let's clean it up first. Car wash. Let's see the colors we're working with. Green and yellow, maybe? Ooh, okay, it's a big green banana. I think I'll be changing that color. That's not that's not a very flattering color. I don't like that. It's not my taste. That's the other thing that you'll learn when you grow older. Is that it's okay for people. It's okay for somebody to like a color that you don't, or you know, a style that you don't, hair color, hairstyle, whatever it is, clothing style. Just it doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. Just enjoy that you guys have separate tastes. That's something that doesn't matter in life. Move that to car lift B. Now let's see if this one has oil. No, this one also is missing its oil pan. Its oil pan is that bottom piece that goes on here. It holds all the oil inside. So that's missing. No, I don't want to put it there. Put it back. All right. Okay. Should we do body work and paint it first? And now, if we were doing this for real, I would say let's not do that first, because I don't want to scratch any of those pieces. But this is a video game. Now, I would like to repair these outside things first. Now, I'm going to only do one car at a time, one car at a time, so I don't mix any parts and it doesn't confuse me. All right, so let's just start taking off pieces here. And we're missing this headlight. Left side mirror. And the trunk, I think, yep, taillights. Okay, I think that's all the body work on it. Let's go repair what we can. Okay, fender. Okay. I think for this car, I think I want to keep it, it's the color that it is. Okay, that's 100% now. 100%. Okay. Windshield. Oh, 91%. So this is something I think I'm going to buy and then replace. So I'm going to leave it off. Mirror, good. Trunk, good. Now taillights and headlights are something I cannot repair, so those things I'm going to leave off for now, and I'm going to look at my inventory. These are all things I cannot repair. I'm going to sell them. Nope. First put them onto your shopping list. Down here it says add to shopping list, which is spacebar. Adding each one of those to the list. Now to get into your list, you hit the tab key. This is something from my last car. And this is your shopping list. This is going to help you so much when you're shopping. So we went into the shop. Let's go to body work. And the first two cars here, you see this little house symbol. That means that they're the ones I have in front of me. We go here. And look, if you got a good memory, you can remember all the parts you need to buy. I know I have to get the headlights and taillights and the windshield. But if you have a different car that has a lot more pieces, hit your tab key, and then you can look at the parts you need. So this one's for the right taillight. Just click it. There we go. That's what we need to buy. Next one, that's the other taillight that we need to buy. Left headlight. And windshield. There you go. And don't forget to take things off your shopping list. Okay. Then we go into this. This is the assemble mode. I bought that, didn't I? Did I miss that one? Yeah, I think I did. Okay. Oh, that's right. It wasn't on my shopping list because I didn't add it from here. Okay, if you're in this menu, it's just regular, you hit X to add to shopping list. Okay, I added it. Bodywork, Jeep. Click. Got it. Now we're good. I'm going to try to remember to turn that blue. Well, although that color doesn't look bad. Black is fine. We're gonna see what options we have to paint it later. Okay, let's clear this out. We don't need those things anymore. Okay, there's one last thing we gotta do. If you ever got a car in this game that you get, it could look all nice and shiny here, but you have to fix the other parts of the body, the structure. I'm forgetting what name that's called. Okay. And in other cars, that can be a lot more drastic. There's parts of, like, this part of the body here, the rear right fender here. If this car was much worse off, that would be totally nasty, and you can't take that part off to fix it, like repair it, like I did for the hood. But with this, that would fix it. All right. Okay, I think this is where, let's pop it up, and yeah, let's pull the engine. First, to pull the engine, we have to go in here and we have to disconnect the engine. Say, look, this is a big old block of stuff. You can pull this out in one go, but you can't, well, in real life you can sometimes pull it out with the gearbox. But we're going to take off the drive shaft, this transfer case, this gearbox. We're going to take those off so that it's easier to pull out. In the game, it won't let you pull it out without doing these steps. Let's see what I did is I got 4 bolts here, four bolts over here. Personally, what I like to do to fix it, to get that off, is to line all the screws up, and it just saves me time. Oh, look at this. And we got to take off this front drive shaft. There's 1 bolt, 2, 3, 4. And we always got to get that starter. If you see an orange bolt, that means it's rusted. You've got to spray it first. Now, it's more likely in real life that every single one of these bolts is going to be a headache, but you never know. Alright, now we can pull it out just like this. I don't think there's anything else I have to do to it. Let's drop the car. Isn't that cool? It's like an elevator for cars. Now this is an engine hoist, engine crane. Pull the engine out. It would be cool, like in real life, it's really cool to see an engine just dangling from a little thing like this. But this is Fantasyland, so let's put it on the engine stand. Install engine on the stand. This is the engine. Okay, let's spin this. Okay, that's what the engine looks like out. And you can see where it's bolted into the engine stand here. Okay. Now the fun part, we just take it apart. Air filter cover. Air filter. Okay, now here's where I'll start adding some things to the list that I know for sure from experience, from making lots of mistakes, is something that I'm gonna have to buy. I don't remember about those things. Wires, I'm gonna add that to the list. That was interesting. It went through a hole in the engine head. That's a nice little design to keep them in line. Spark plugs. We're going to need 4 of those. Now, here's the cool thing about the game. If I want to take off this engine cover, I can't, right? Of course, because there's a spark plug here. But what it does is it highlights the item that I need to do first in red, which is a really handy feature. Now, in real life, you can get spark plugs working again usually by cleaning them. In this game, they don't let you do that. I think that's something they should add for the next game that they make. Because more often than not, you can just clean up a spark plug, and there's something called adjusting the gap in the spark plug, and by doing that, you can get a spark plug running again usually. Most often, I mean, spark plugs from 50 years ago that are in an engine that hasn't been moved and ran in 50 years, that spark plug could probably still work if you just clean it up a little bit. Not always, but usually, I think. I'm not a mechanic though, so I know those guys will know better than me. Ignition distributor, I can repair that. Ignition distributor A here though, I cannot. So that's something I have to add to the list. Ignition coil. Oil filter. Get that out. I gotta replace that. Alright. Okay, look at this. We're getting somewhere. Fuel filter. Gotta replace that. Carburetor. Now remember, the carburetor is something that mixes the air that's pulled into the engine with the fuel that's being injected into the engine at the same time. You have to have a mixture of air and fuel for an engine to work. So if an engine is ever running really choppy, it's not working well like that. Maybe it's because there's not the right mixture of fuel and air. Maybe there's too much fuel. Maybe there's too much air, or not enough of one of those. That's totally possible, and the reason why an engine either won't start, or when it does start, it sounds really bad. Crankshaft pulley, that's something I don't believe I can fix. I have to buy a new one. Alternator. This is such a cool part. Okay, we know that cars need batteries. We know that they need electricity to create a spark. But an alternator, which is this little thing right here, is some magnets and some copper coil, copper wiring that's all spun up and wound up together. And when that spins, because the engine's running, it uses a little bit of electricity to start spinning. No, I mean, it uses that belt that we took off to spin it. It creates its own energy. And that's why you can use radios in your car without draining your battery when the engine is on. When the engine is off, it's just running on the battery. But that's just such a cool invention. That somebody figured out that if you just run, I'm pretty sure they're magnets. I don't think they're just pieces of steel. I'm pretty sure they're magnets. But if you run magnets across copper wire, you create electricity. Man, that was a big invention. What a cool invention that just really changed the world. I guess so we're just talking about generators at that point. Now, the clutch wheel is something I can repair in this game, but this flywheel, clutch release plate, does not. Okay, we need to spin the engine. Other way. Okay. Okay. Now we're looking at This right here is the piston. It's outlined. And here's the top of the piston. Now see, you can kind of see the cavity in here. This is the combustion chamber. So this is where the fuel and air mixture is injected into this area, into this cavity. And then it's sparked and exploded. And that explosion pushes down the piston. It pushes it down. When that pushes down, it spins because it's locked onto this crankshaft, and it spins it. And that's what's giving you, and that's what spins the gearbox, which spins the drive shaft, and eventually spins your wheels. So we took off the cap. Now, so when you're fixing an engine, one of the big things is that you don't want leakage in between the piston here and this. Oh man, there's some terminology here I need to remember. Somebody's probably yelling at their screen right now. But you want a good seal there. So there's pistons here, but also they have piston rings, and the piston rings are what gives it a nice seal. So one bit of maintenance for a car is that sometimes you'll need to go in, because it's not really maintenance, it's usually you do it when something is messing up. But here's a good example. You got one piston to the right and that one's looking clean, it's looking nice. The one to the left is really corroded. Now that could be that oil has been getting into that combustion chamber, and the oil, when the combustion happens, combustion is a word for like an explosion or a fire. When that explosion happens, that oil burns itself onto the piston or onto the walls. It's creating soot, it's creating, particles like that, trash basically, and that needs to be cleaned off for a better combustion. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be cleaned off, but if you're having problems with it, that might be a reason. You want a nice, clean, smooth surface in there if you can have it. Alright. Oh, forgot the timing cover. Now look, so I've been saying some things, and some of them are true. Some of them, I might be making mistakes. I'm obviously not an expert in this field. So you could say I am making mistakes. But the thing is that each one of those mistakes, somebody could, or I can learn from those mistakes by hearing somebody's correction. Now if somebody corrects me, I have an option. I have the option. I can choose to be a poor sport about it, a bad sport, and get upset. And oh well, yeah, I already knew that. I could get upset, or I could choose to just accept it and learn from it. It's really nice when somebody corrects you. Now that doesn't mean that every time you get corrected is a good situation. Sometimes somebody's using that situation to make you feel bad for not knowing something. That doesn't mean you have to feel bad when somebody's trying to make you feel bad, but that means that they're morally not doing a decent thing. If that happens, don't worry about it. Just imagine that they're not somebody that's stuck in your life, so you don't have to deal with it all the time. And so if you ignore it, if somebody's being rude, ignore the rude parts of what somebody says and accept what's true. So if they rudely say, if they rudely correct me, then that's still a good thing. I learned from it. Fuel pump. Okay, we can do this. We can fix the fuel pump. I still learned my lesson. And I learned, let's fix that. So I get corrected, I learned that lesson, but two, I also learned the lesson of somebody who I shouldn't hang out with, who I shouldn't let in my sphere. It's actually a very helpful thing to learn who you should not be spending time with. Also, when you get older, it's eventually you're going to date people and want to bring them into your life long term. And it's a very important thing. It's a good thing to learn about those qualities that they have. So you can make the right choices for who to let in your life. So sometimes you're dating somebody, and they are I need to replace that piece. Sometimes you're dating somebody, and they are, let's say they're just like these parts. They're 90% good, but there's 10% that's just not compatible with you. So let's not even call it bad. Sometimes people have little bits of them that are bad. Maybe bad behaviors, bad habits. They make bad choices, or maybe they don't accept responsibility for certain things in their life. And those things can add up to be something worse. So somebody could be 90% good for you in your life, and the other 10% are something that you can either forgive, forget, or accept. And that's the choice you got to make. But if somebody, let's say you're dating somebody and they're 50% perfect but 50% not compatible with you, or you learn something that you don't like about them, or they made a big mistake, and it's not something that you want to it's not something you want to keep them in your life for, because of. That's actually a good thing. It's a good thing to learn who not to have in your life. So that's eventually when you have your breakups, and this could be also for friends. Eventually, when you can say, well, they were a good friend for the time. You don't got to be mad at somebody for being a flawed human being, even if it's a type of flawed human being that hurt you in some way. You don't got to be mad at that situation. I mean, that's another one of those. It's life. You're gonna run into those situations. So, and they also did you a favor. Eventually you learned not to hang out with that person, and that's, don't be mad that you wasted your time, because you can't get that time back. So you just accept it, and you actually say, hey, that's a good thing, I can move on. I get to move on, they also get to move on. And I mean, if you could, that's easy to say, because if you're in a real life situation with that, it's not fun. So it's easy to say these things, but that's why you practice and you try to be that kind of a better person. Because if you can do that, if you can just, hey, it's a good thing that they show themselves to be somebody I don't want in my life. They get to move on and find somebody that's perfect for them, or in a better percentage-wise better for them. And you also, oh man, that's very mature. That's what you want to aim for and strive to be. And sometimes you're going to be the person that they realize that they shouldn't have in their life. That can also upset you, but that's something that you got to accept, to be mature about, because that's also a good thing. It's a good thing to learn that you might be the person that's not good for them. You might be upset and think that it's not your fault, or you'll have all these excuses. But if you can accept, if you can hear the good thing of what they just said, is they're saying that you have a problem in some area. If you accept that, and then fix that, you're a better person. You've learned. You've gained. You've learned something really good, and it's helped you. You can be thankful for that. So these are the belts, the fuel filter, clutch release bearing that goes to the gearbox, the flywheel. Flywheels are expensive. I wish you could repair them in this game. I don't know if you can in real life though. So crankshaft bearing cap. I think I need 2 of these, and there's some other parts I'm gonna have to buy. Now, electrical parts, I have to go down here. Ignition wires. I could get those if I wanted to. Spark plugs and distributor. I want to show you something else. Okay, there's car parts and then there's tune-up parts. Tune-up parts are a little bit fancier. Look at this. Let's get this. Red. Spark plugs. They're fancier and they run your engine a little bit better. Okay. And sometimes they don't look good on the cars that you want to use though. And maybe it's not going to look good on this one, but we'll find out. I could replace that air filter, but I'm not going to. Let's see, we need 4 pistons. I forgot I'm gonna have to buy an oil pan for this. Okay, let's actually move over here so we can look at it. Super shiny. Should I put the old distributor cap on? Yeah, that looks fine. The air filter goes on, the oil filter goes on in here. Oil cover. Ooh, gotta buy that. Add it to the list. I think I gotta buy this. No, I have it. Okay. Okay, and the fuel filter, I bought that. Okay, cam gear. Add that to the list. Water pump. Add that to the list. RMB. I know they didn't let us repair that. I mean, realistically, that's something you can definitely repair. But you know, you never know. Sometimes. Oh, actually, I bought it already. Huh. I've seen some cars where that's pretty janked up. Alternator. Gotta buy that too. I'll buy a fancy one for that. Also the pistons and the piston rings. Let's put the flywheel on. Clutch plate. Clutch pressure. Ooh. Don't want that on there. Shoot, can I find a good one in here? Let's see, clutch pressure plate. I can. Let's just mix up some of these good and bad parts. Pistons. I need 4 of them because it's a 4-cylinder, straight 4. And reins. I need a piston reins. Oh, okay. I gotta use regular piston reins. Reins. Gotta figure out which ones I need. Let's see. Piston reins. It's the double looking ones. Piston reins. Got it. 4 of those. Now the piston reins go on to the piston here. Okay, let's add those in. And generally, when you're adding them in, you do it from this side. That and that. You put them together. I'll show you in this next picture. See this picture? You see these bands here, these lines? These piston rings, they go inside those little lines. And sometimes you just need one repair might be, you just gotta replace those piston rings because they rub against the wall and they can start to wear out. And that little replacement might save you a lot of work down the road. They can cause that fuel and air mixture to escape and give you very bad performance out of your piston. See, this is what I like to do. So these bolts go right here. But if we line them all up, you just click and hold down the button and it'll do them all for you. Let's do it this way. Spark plugs, we got new ones. New ones. Spark plugs aren't that expensive, so sometimes it's just better to just replace them. Fancy, fancy red. Air filter cover needs to be replaced. Okay. Alright, let's go to the store and buy these new things. Let's start here. Don't need that. Can, water pump, air B, I think I fixed that. Alternator, I think I already bought that. Already bought that. Piston rings bottom. Okay. Cam gear, water pump, air filter cover. Why do you need a water pump for a car? Well, remember we talked about the explosions that are going on inside in the chambers, combustion chambers. Well, I think I got all this stuff. Well, that generates lots of heat, right? So your car uses, back in the day it was just water, but eventually they developed a chemical that allows coolant, they call it, that allows to go through your engine and cool everything down along with the water. Ooh, water pump pulley. No, I'll take that off. Timing chain, I need to buy a new one of those. So if you're like in Florida or in a very hot area, you could just use water. That's fine. But if you're in a cold area, like you're in the north, New York, New Jersey, anywhere it snows, you might want to use 100% coolant. Maybe 50-50. It just depends. Because you don't want that water freezing. If you learned in school, when water freezes, it expands. So if you put a cup of water in the fridge, that cup of water will, when the ice expands, that ice will go above the line that the water used to be at. It'll go above in all directions. It'll try to. So that can explode out of your engine. So this is a water pump, but there's spaces all throughout this engine block. All throughout this engine block, there's spaces where that water is pumped through, like veins in your skin. It's pumped through it, and as that water goes past, it cools things down. But if that water when the engine is turned off, if that water stays in there, and then when the water freezes, it'll expand and it'll crack your entire engine. You might have a whole blowout of your engine. Now on this, let's see if they have something called I think it's called a weep hole. Is that this right here and this right here? I can't really remember on the engine that I saw it on. But basically there's a hole. It's called a plug something. But it's a hole that if let's say winter is coming and you're not going to be driving that car, you open that hole in the side of your engine, you let you drain out the fluid or the water. This is what they did back in the day a lot. You drain out the water so that there's no water inside or less water inside to freeze, and when it does freeze, it won't blow up. It won't, well, blow up isn't the right word to use. It won't crack your engine, because the ice will be stronger than the metal that's in there. It's an interesting thing that water can be stronger, but that's water is stronger than most everything. Water will break your engine. Like here's one thing that happens to a lot of cars that drive through water. This is the reason why you don't drive through puddles of water very fast, if you can help it. It's fun to make big splashes, but what happens if you drive too fast through water, you might get even just a little bit of water sucked up. Let's turn the engine here. Oh, this way. Yep, we were right. You might get a little bit of water sucked into your air filter. That little bit of water goes through into your carburetor. So then there's water, air, and fuel being mixed up, being pushed into, and that little bit of water will make it into your combustion chamber inside. So when it gets when that piston comes up to compress that water and that fuel and air, one thing you should know about water is it doesn't compress. When it freezes, it expands, and that expansion can break rocks, it can break metal engines. But also, water doesn't compress. When you squeeze water, if it doesn't have a place to go, everything around it will break. So you can bend your entire piston or crack your engine if water gets inside. You can have a total destruction of your engine, or maybe just one piston. You can totally ruin a car, 100%, by getting water sucked into your engine. Then you have to throw away the whole car. Total destruction. What a sad day that would be. And there's a lot of people that have done that. They're just driving their car, they want to splash, they want to ride into a little puddle. Might not even be a big deal. They ride through it, and then boom, engine's dead. Yeah, so if it's flooding, don't ride through the water. Even if it's a foot deep and you think you can do it, don't do it. Just don't do it. You are better off stopping your car somewhere, parking it, and then walking through the rain than you are driving through a puddle that you think is just not good for your car. Because one bad day is much better. One bad day in the rain is much better than all the money it costs to either replace an engine or to buy a totally new car. Also, it's true that if you drive through water and if you get stuck in water, you can't open your doors because water weighs a lot and you have to push all that water out of the way to open your door. And even big strong dudes can't open a door when it's even halfway submerged. And with electric windows, they are not going to work. And then you will be stuck inside a car that is filling with water. And that is very scary. Nobody deserves that. So, again, don't ride through water. I think we're done. I think we are done. Look at that fancy new engine. Oil cover here, or oil filter there, air filter there. Huh. That is interesting. Okay, let's take it off the engine stand. Go over here. And let's plug it in. Install. Let's double check, make sure we got everything right. And that puts it in. Oh yeah. You know what? I like those red highlights. I like them. And there's more things we could add. We could add, we can change out the, I think, air filter. You know what? Let's give that a shot. Let's just do it. Add that part to the list. This one, okay. Got it. Is there anything for this car? No? Okay. Take that off. Add part mount. Aha! Let's do that. That looks nice. Well, I mean, we can't see it, so but it looks nice when you open it. Is there a better carburetor? I'm sure there is. Let's look. Tune up. Carburetor. Yeah. You know what? Let's add that. Let's add that. So we have to take out these things off. And carburetor. Nice and shiny. See, this is where you might be. I might look at the engine and think there's too much going on there. Too much fancy. So let's look. No, that's all right. That's all right. Yeah. Let's put it up on the jack. Okay. Let's just run through this and finish up the car. Gearbox working. This is definitely something that they're going to have a high performance part for. But it's a Jeep. It's a Jeep. They have performance, I think, starters too. Transfer case. We need. Okay, we got it. Now look at this. This one has two drive shafts. One drive shaft is called front drive shaft F, which goes to the front axle up here that spins the front wheels. And this back drive shaft goes to this drive axle, which spins the back tires. So this is, if you have all four tires running or moving, you have a four-wheel drive. Wait, I think I have this one. Okay. Let's go buy a drive shaft. That shopping list helps you save so much time. I think for the first playthrough, I didn't use the shopping list hardly at all. For some reason, I didn't know. I didn't know that you can click on the part, and then the shop will take you right to that part. I didn't know you could do that. So I wasted a lot of time just looking at my shopping list and then trying to remember the name and then searching with my keyboard to try to find the part. I spent a lot of time doing that. Let's see. Okay, I need a front exhaust section. I need a middle muffler. I need a rear muffler. And I need to take this guy off. Now, mufflers is not something you can repair in the game, but in real life you can sometimes. Front exhaust section, middle muffler, rear muffler. I don't know why I came into that room. Okay. Look at that. Alright. So now the engine's good. Gearbox is good. The drive shaft is good. The only thing we got to do is work on the axles on both sides in the suspension. Let's take out this fuel tank. Now, also in real life, you can repair most fuel tanks. As long as they don't have a hole, which is something you can repair. Don't leave that up to somebody who knows what they're doing, who's done it plenty of times before, just because you don't want to blow yourself up. But I mean, if you empty out a fuel tank and then you wash it out with water pretty good with a hose, you're not going to blow yourself up by trying to weld it. Just make sure everything dries. Wash it out a couple of times. But one thing you could do is you could put some solvents inside the fuel tank after it's been washed and dried, especially if there's lots of rust in there. Put solvents and then put a couple bags of marbles. It's a very low-tech way of fixing it. But that's one way, and then you just shake the entire tank, and those marbles will roll around and they'll break up the rust. It's not a great repair. but it is a repair that will get you up and running with that fuel tank. The marbles will break up the rust, and then you won't get so much crud in your fuel. So if your fuel tank has rust inside it, that rust, particles of rust, will be pumped into this fuel pump. The fuel pump will suck it up like a straw, and then from that fuel pump you have a tube that will go all the way up to your carburetor here. It'll plug in, and then that's where, well, it'll plug into your fuel filter if you have one, like if you have one connected. So the fuel goes into this fuel filter, and then hopefully the rust will stay in there, but it won't. And that rust will go into your carburetor, and then that rust will go into your combustion chamber, which will mess up your engine. So when you fix it with marbles and solvent and stuff, you're just trying to stop that rust, the big particles, from getting through. You can have dirty fuel work fine, okay for you for a bit, but chunks will plug it up and really mess it bad. Oh my, oh okay, here we go. Let's do the rear first. Brake drums. Usually something you can repair, but in this game you can't. Okay, here we go. You know what, let's just take it all apart. Let's take everything apart and then go try to fix it all. Rear knuckle. Look at this cool thing. Isn't this an interesting way of doing a suspension? Okay, so you need your wheels to be a little bit bouncy. You need your car to be able to absorb shock. Here's something called a shock absorber, so that when the tires hit a hole or a bump, they're gonna move up and down. Now, if you don't want your entire car to move up and down, you put shock absorbers, and you design your car to have maybe something like this leaf spring. So this leaf spring, that big U, will flex when your tires hit a bump. And when they flex, that means that your entire car is not going to be going up and down as bad. So that's a cool thing that somebody decided to put a bunch of metal together in a U shape and then use that to absorb vibrations and shock to the car when it hits bumps. It's just such a cool idea. And they had these things on wagons back in the day, so it's not like it's new technology at all. Obviously it's old. It's on this 1948 car. Oh, I'm gonna have to take off that drive shaft again. Now let's get this tire off. Brake drum. Generally, brake drums are easy to repair. You just, they're super dirty. But you get a wire wheel or a wire brush and some brake cleaner, and you just brush. Actually, I don't. You know what? I think I should disclaimer that. I think actually there is some friction going on. There definitely is friction going on. What am I talking about? So it can wear out, but sometimes you can just clean it by just brushing it up, and that will give you a lot of better braking power. Sometimes just by cleaning it. I'll show when we put it back together. We'll talk about how those work, how rear brakes in these kind of cars work. Oh, look at that! We took the entire suspension system out of this. Nice. Let's go repair it. Okay, start with the brake shoes. Brake drum cylinder. try again. It is kind of dark, so let's fix that a little bit. How's that? A little bit better. Yeah, a little bit better. Alright, and we're also going to find out what could not be repaired. Okay, drive axle, something that can't be repaired. Add it to the list, and let's go buy that right quick. Ah, fresh and clean. Leaf spring. Didn't think it was something that can be repaired. Ah, we need small rubber bushings. 2, 3, 4. You know what, let's clean this out of the things I just bought. And brake drum, I need 2 of those. Rear shocks, 2 of those. So this has a leaf spring suspension. And I'm sure on the other car we're going to see the larger shock absorbers that go on cars. Okay, let's put this drive shaft on. Now in the game you can upgrade your speed of screwing. Here. Increase screwing speed by 25%. You know what? Let's do that. I was going a little slow. Now we put the mounting and screwing. Okay, adding parts. Leaf springs plate. U-bolt. Pretty simple design here. But if it works, it works. Shock absorber. Leaf spring. Lots of trucks. Actually, I don't know if they still do, but for the longest time, trucks still use leaf springs in the back. They probably don't anymore. Cars are so expensive and engineered, over-engineered. Maybe that's not the right word, over-engineered. They got a lot of fancy stuff on them, let's say that. Lots of fancy stuff that are hard to repair. But these days, for when this car was made in 1948, is a lot, or 1946, 1948, I think it was. It said a lot cheaper, a lot easier to do. Okay, we are almost done. Let's put these bolts in. Drum brake cylinder, brake shoe, brake drum. Ah, now we just need to do the tires. Look at that. Good work, good work. Okay, we gotta separate. So if you ever want to do mechanic work, these are some of the tools that you're going to be using in the shop. That separated the wheel from the tire, or from the rim. Okay. We can repair the rims. We cannot repair the tires. Good. that. Let's go on our list, take that off. Go, no, not yet. Add that tire to the list. Now we go in here, tires. Do you remember which one it was? I don't. But I put it on the list. Now we can click it. Ah, so much easier. Off-road tire. Okay, but these numbers we do have to remember. It's a size 16. These numbers are kind of backwards a little bit, mixed up. It's size 16. Next number it's going to ask for is 205. Then it's going to ask for 75. So 16, 205, 75. Let's try it out. We need two of them. Size 16, 205, and all right, let's try that again. 16, 205, 75. 16, 205, 75. Now, honestly, I don't know what it means by profile of 75. I know that's the measurement and how big it is. I just don't know. Does that mean tall? I don't remember. Width, that's easy. How fat that tire is. Okay, I think. I don't know anything about tires. Okay, we put it on. Next one, install it. I'm just gonna real quick sell these old tires. I don't need the tires. Take it off. Okay, now look at this cool machine. We gotta put our tire right there. Now look, the tire is good, but it needs to be balanced. If you look in the center of the tire balancer here, you see these long sticks, metal sticks? Those are weights. They're lead, made out of lead. Lead is one of the heaviest metals, and it's also cheap. One of the heaviest, and one of the cheapest. It's just the cheapest to get. It's everywhere. Lead is everywhere in the ground, almost. But fresh new tires, all tires, they have to be balanced. They're going to be heavier on one side, lighter on another side. You have to balance that. If you don't balance it when you're going down the road, your tire is going to be moving faster at different times. It's going to be hitting the road harder on some spots and softer on others. It's going to be imbalanced. And what that's going to do is it could cause your tire to feel rumbly or bumpy. It can feel weird. You can hear it sometimes. Sometimes you'll feel it. But it's not going to feel comfortable. And it's going to make the tire wear out in certain spots. It's going to bald faster on one spot than it is on another. Very important to get your tire balanced. Super important. It's not something you should ever consider skipping to in real life. Also in the game, sure. But I mean, you have to do it. If your tire weights, and you'll see them sometimes on a real car, you'll see somewhere on the rim here, you'll see just some glued on tire weights. If those ever fall off, you gotta go to the store. Don't feel bad about this. Just go to the tire shop and have them balance your wheel again. They can put the weight back on the right spot. You can try to do it yourself if you know where it came off, but all right, that's good. The back end is done. We're almost there. Should we end the video and then just do that another time, or should we just keep going? I feel like we're like 30 minutes into this. Who cares? I don't care. Do you care? No? Okay, let's do it. You know what I like to do with videos is sometimes I just like to turn them on and have them in the background. It's not super important. Nothing I'm talking about is important. So it's okay to just relax. All right, small rubber bushing. We gotta add those. Those are rubber. Those are something that you can't repair. That rubber will wear out. Okay, leaf spring plate. Leaf spring off. Front shock absorber. We need 2 of those. Look at that bolt. Wouldn't it be so nice if all you had to do to get a rusty bolt off was just hit it with some WD-40? This can that I'm spraying for my nephew who doesn't know this yet, that's a can of oil. It's called WD-40. In a second I'll go around the shop looking for a can that might be visible. Maybe they didn't. The game company didn't have the rights to do it though. Let me check. Not over there. Not over there. No. Not seeing. Look at that right there. You see that can, that blue can with like a yellow shield or a yellow square almost on the front of it? It doesn't have the right lettering here. But in real life, a can just like that will have the letters WD-40 on it. And that is what a gift to the world that invention was. It's an oil. It's a mixture of oil that you use on pretty much, you can use it on pretty much anything. Anything you need that needs to be a little bit oiled up. It might be a screw that's seized, or even as a cleaning. You can use it as a cleaning solvent. Actually, I don't know if it's a solvent, but you can use it as a cleaner in some areas. You could use it as rust protection, or in this situation, it's being used to break up the rust or make the joint a little bit slippy. Oh, isn't that a technical term? But just imagine some of these rusty screws. Imagine how dry they are. They don't have any oil on them, no grease. They're dried and bound up. Hit them with this WD-40, some kind of oil that can maybe get down into those little threads. And that could really help them get loose again. Alright, we took that apart. Let's go fix it up. Now in real life, I don't know if you can repair brake shoes. I'm pretty sure those are things you just use them until you gotta replace them. You can't really add friction material onto them. Now, here's some. You have a choice when you're playing games or when you're just doing anything in life. You see somebody's made. Let's say it's a mistake that the game developers made. You know, who knows? Maybe it's not a mistake. Maybe I'm the one making a mistake here. But let's just, for the argument's sake, let's say it was a mistake that you can't repair brake shoes. You have an option to be upset about that and be like, oh, look at this game. They weren't being attentive. They didn't pay attention. They don't know what they're talking about. You can get rude and upset about it. You can feel you can make your day bad by being upset about something it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What you could do is you could focus instead. You can change your perspective. Change your perspective and think about it in a good way. Look at all the things they did right. People are bound to make mistakes. If it's a mistake, you're supposed to make mistakes in life. You got to make mistakes so that you can learn. If you made the game, would you make 0 mistakes? No, you'd make more mistakes. So you could be gracious. That's a good word. You can be gracious about other people's mistakes. And look, if you take that perspective, you choose to behave that way, to look at a situation that way, you choose to feel more of a positive emotion, then people around you will like you more. They will like having you around. That's a better way of living life. Okay, it's same as last time. 16, 205, 75. We need two of them. 16, 205, 75. Look good. Install parts. But look at that. Imagine you can work at a tire shop. You could do this work all day. Put parts on the machine, put them together, and isn't it fun? Look at that car. We put that together. Isn't that cool? Can you imagine doing that? And then the owner comes and you show them that you fixed their car. It'd make you feel nice and proud. Okay, we balanced the wheels. We did our duty. Now we can start installing stuff. Steering rack on. Let's do the axle. Axle on. You know what? Let's do the drive shaft on. I didn't buy shock absorbers. Forgot. Let's do those purchases here. Brake drum, we need 2 of those. Outer tie rods, 2 of these. Inner tie rods, 2 of these. Small bushings, we need 2 on each side, so that's 4. Front shocks. Got it. But imagine you were working at a factory and all your factory did was make front shock absorbers. Wouldn't it be cool though? You worked at a factory like that, and then every time you see a car, you're like, something I worked on might be in that car. Wouldn't that be kind of cool? Okay. Got that. Front steering knuckle. Wheel hub 4. Brake cylinder. Brake shoe. You know what? I should put this on. Drive axle. Brake drum. Nice. Outer tie rod. There we go. Ooh, look at this. If this was real life, we'd have to take this all apart. We have to put this steering knuckle plate on. We'd have to take all of that apart. Can you imagine? No, that's a situation anybody would struggle feeling upset about. Because you could choose to feel upset. You could choose to feel like your day is ruined. You could choose to think about and dwell on how much time you lost, how much money you might have lost, anything. You could think about all those things. But if you do, you don't learn anything from thinking negative thoughts like that. The lesson is already learned. You already learned the lesson, and the lesson was take your time. Make sure you did everything correctly before you move on to the next step. That's the lesson. You already learned it. So there's no point in feeling bad. So you should choose to have a positive perspective. What's a positive perspective? I don't know. What's a positive perspective of making a mistake that costs you time? Well, the positive perspective is that you learned not to do that stuff again. You learned, one thing you might have learned is that you are, ooh, look at that part. Here's a word, fallible. I gotta look that up. Valuable. That means you are capable of making mistakes, or that you are susceptible to mistakes, making mistakes. You're just not perfect. That's what the lesson is. And everybody's not perfect. Nobody's perfect, but you can improve. So sometimes, and this is something I do often as I've matured in life. So you make a big, let me watch my language here. You make a big mistake, and it's frustrating. Frustration levels are high. You take a deep breath, and you might even say this, and you don't have to do this in a negative way, even though it might sound negative. It's like, I deserve to make that mistake because I needed to learn that lesson again. I need to learn the lesson that I need to slow down. I should not assume I did everything perfect, and I need, after I do a set number of parts, I should look over my work to see if I'm doing everything still good. That's the lesson you should take. That's the perspective you should take. And you deserve to learn your lesson. You shouldn't feel bad like, oh, I'm a failure. I did a terrible thing. Look how much of a mistake I made. You shouldn't dwell on it that way. And you shouldn't feel bad, but you should feel like it's a good thing that you had that mistake. That you deserve to have that mistake so that you don't make it again in the future. Let's sell all that junk. All right. Now we're almost done. Okay. Windshield washer fluid, radiator, battery. Ooh, the fuse box, brake servo. We gotta take these things out. Add these things to the part list. And I'll need to add the cover. Let me do this real quick. Fuse box cover, got it. Oh, we are so close to being done. So this will be the finished product is a Jeep Willy. All right. Put that fuse box back. Now there's nothing I can repair. Relays, fuses, I can't repair those. So I need to buy them. Let's do our electrical first. Battery, we need that battery. Let's take off that. Did I take off one thing? I don't know. Got the battery. Fuse box. One of those. Oh, I had two listed, but I don't need two. Relays, I need two. Relay type 3. Type A, 3. Two of these. One of those. Okay. Windshield washer and reservoir, radiator, and a brake servo. You know what? Yeah, I think I got everything. Fuse box cover on. Okay, we're gonna have to fill that up in a second. Battery. There we go. Radiator and windshield washer fluid. I don't know if they had those back in the day for that car. Okay, let's glug glug it up. Glug glug it up. Here we go. Okay, got it. Brake servo. Brake fluid. Don't touch brake fluid. It is not good for your skin. It will cause cancer. Okay, radiator seat cap. Now if you're doing these in your car, you're going to use a funnel so that none of this spills everywhere. And you're going to be looking down the hole to see and make sure that none of it's about to come spilling out. Alright, here we are. All done. Oil. Forgot the oil. Right here. What I do really like about this game is that you don't have to do the wiring on all of this. I don't have to run wires all over the car or fuel lines. Oh, look at that. Take that off. Look at that. You know what? I kind of like that windshield. We'll take it to paint anyways. We have to take it to a few things. We got to take it to the paint shop and the test path. So let's do paint shop first. Now this is a paint booth. It's all nice and clean, but they have these places, these little booths, so that none of the spray, when you're spraying the paint on, that spray is in the air, and you don't want that getting on anything else. You want to contain it. Okay, paint shop, roll of paper. So that is the factory color. These are all the factory colors too. Now I know my little buddy, he would enjoy picking out the color that picking out a color he likes. Now this would be the military color. I kind of like the one we have. I kind of want to stick with that. Liveries. Oh wait, so we can do camo? Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Let's see what else. A star on it. Nice. Okay. Let's do it with the star. Nice. Dude, that looks so cool. Wouldn't you want to drive that around? I do. Okay. Let's do it. Let's do that. That looks too cool. And I don't think I would have had the option to just paint the windshield. I'm pretty sure there's no option to do that. Okay, we're good here. Let's just look at it. Let's just look at it. Perfect. Now we're going to move that over to test path. And here at the test path, what happens if can I fall? Yes, I can fall in. You know, I'm going to tell a story about my sister, or my little buddy's aunt. I remember one time she was driving in to get an oil change, and they have these little underbelly bays. Somebody could walk down in there and they can look at the bottom of your car. It's very handy for them. But she drove in here and she did not line it up, and her car went down. One wheel went down into that well. Scared the heck out of some dude who was working there. Okay, that is... Oh, look at that. So right now what we're doing is we are lining up the headlights, because you don't want your headlights shooting into oncoming traffic's eyes. You're sitting in your car. You don't want somebody's headlights to be just shining in your eyes from across the road. And there's ways to fix that. If you're a responsible person, you want to be a responsible person, you got to adjust your headlights. Make sure that they're not pointing up too high. If they're pointing up too high, then the person on the other side of the road is going to get an eye full of light. And it's going to make them, it's going to endanger them. Because as long as you're driving towards them, they're going to have trouble seeing things around them. And they might actually get off track. If they get off track, they could hit you. Most likely, though, they're going to hit somebody or something else. So, get it checked. Don't be a butthead. Okay, I think that's good. This I could use this test part here, and that would check out the parts that are in my car, which is good for diagnosing things, because it will tell you if there's maybe a leaf spring or something in that area that's not working well. Okay, close that. I think the last thing we need to do is we got to take out the interior, replace the interior. Now if we do this, oh, can I just drive the car right here? Oh. We'll do that after we get it set up. We want to take these parts out. Take that seat out, that seat, this one, and this one. And we want to buy new interior. Steering wheel, got it. Do we want a different steering wheel, or do we want to keep that one? We need a bench, and we need 2 seats. Let's look at steering wheels. There's a lot of different types. Look at that chain one. Which one should we add? I'm kind of like the one we have. Yeah, let's just keep the one we have. Although this one looks pretty cool. Bench in the back. Now there is a type of Jeep like this, similar to this. I don't think it's the same type, same one. But they were designed so that you could take it all apart and pack it into a crate, pack it into a box, and then ship it, and then put it back together in, I don't know how long, but it was a very, very quick time, so that a group of guys can just put the entire car together in a matter of hours or less. It's such a cool thing that they designed it that way. Okay, let's get in and let's start the car. Alright. The sound could, there's room for improvement there. Let's drive the car. Junkyard, car salon, parking garage, test track, and race track. I wonder if I crash something here, if I crash a car here. Ooh, nice and slow. Ooh, that was a hard shift. I don't know if I have to downshift here. I don't even know the. Ooh. Is it automatic? It shouldn't be. These cars were definitely not automatic back in the day. Let's see if it is automatic. Yep. Let's go on the grass. Sand. Oh man, this car's slow. It's so slow, I don't think I could drift at all. Wait, it stopped? What is this, an unfinished racetrack? Did I take a wrong turn? Oh man, that thing's slow. Okay. Returning to the garage. What a slow car. Maybe I should have opted for more performance parts. Man, just imagine how slow that would have been if I didn't put any performance parts on it. Alright. Let's add that to the garage. Add that to our parking garage. And I want to show you, this is the last thing. Your garage. Let's see. Car salon parking. Yeah, I want to go to the alley. No, I don't want to swap things. How do I just go there? Go to alley. Yeah, I've never done this part. I have cars in the alley? Show car. Oh, cool. Look at that. There's another car I made. I fixed up. Okay. So that's the car. Let's look at our Jeep. Okay, cool. Before, I think in their last game, you could run around your parking garage and look at the cool cars that you have. In this, they don't really let you do that, which is a little bummer, but hey, there's always room for improvement. Oh, cool car. Jeep Willy, 1948. Alright. Thank you for watching. Next time, we can play this again. We might do Hot Wheels Unleashed Turbocharged 2. We'll try to beat that game. I tried doing it on hard and oh gosh, I'm not doing well. Well, I guess I'm doing well. I'm getting second or third place and everything, but it's, you know how frustrating that is? You want to get first and you just can't. Every time you're just a little bit too short. Well, that's life. But like I tell my nephew, every time you make a mistake, every time that you don't get first place, you gained experience, and that's going to help you get first place in the future. So, this is me checking out. See you guys later.